Life is full of things that try to push us down. We all face disappointments and setbacks. Maybe you got bad news concerning your health, a relationship didn't work out, or perhaps the hurricane damaged your house. It was a setback. And it's easy to get discouraged, lose our enthusiasm. And too often we just settle where we are. But if we're going to see God's best, we have to have this bounce-back mentality. That means when you get knocked down, you don't stay down, you get back up again. It means when disappointments come, things don't go your way, you don't have a pity party and think life's just not fair. No, you shake it off, knowing what was meant for your harm, God's going to use for your good. When you're a bounce-back person, you know that every adversity, every setback is not permanent. It's not going to last forever, it's only temporary. Weeping may endure for a night, but you know joy is coming in the morning. So you don't sit around complaining, thinking about how bad it was and everything you lost. You know God is a God of restoration and that He's promised to pay you back double for every unfair situation. Instead of being discouraged by the difficulty, you're encouraged by it, knowing that you're going to get double for your trouble. You're going to come out better off than you were before. And I believe today, I'm looking at bounce-back people. You have the seed of Almighty God. The same power that raised Christ from the dead lives on the inside of you. In your blood right now is the DNA of a winner, the DNA of an overcomer. There is no challenge too difficult for you. There is no obstacle too high to overcome. No sickness, no disappointment, no person, no hurricane, no stock market can keep you from your God-given destiny. The enemy may have done his best, but his best will never be enough. If you stay in faith, what was meant to stop you will not be a stumbling block, but rather a stepping stone so you can go to a higher level. Now, I want you to get your hopes up. You are not average. You are not ordinary. You are a child of the Most High God. Life may have dealt you a tough blow. At times it feels like the wind's been taken out of our sails. But the good news is, Almighty God has put a bounce back in your spirit. That's why when you're tempted to give up on your dreams, when you're tempted to just settle where you are, something down in here says, no way, this is not who I am. I was created to live in victory. I was created to overcome this sickness. I was created to rise above these problems. Why is that? It's in your DNA. You have the blood of a winner. And when times get tough, you can't sit back and feel sorry for yourself. You got to dig your heels in, have the attitude, I may be knocked down, but I didn't get knocked out. And I recognize this setback is simply a setup for a greater comeback. And it's just a matter of time before I come back stronger, healthier, better than I was before. During the recent hurricane, I noticed the different types of trees that had been blown down. Huge oak trees, 4 or 5 feet around. They looked as sturdy as can be, but they were no match for the 100-mile-an-hour winds. I saw pine trees, must have been 140 feet tall, laying in yard after yard. Big trees, small trees, pines, oaks, elms, magnolias, none of them could withstand those hurricane-force winds. There was just one type of tree I noticed didn't get blown down. It's the palm tree. You know why? God designed the palm tree to withstand the storm. Unlike most other trees, the palm tree is able to bend so it doesn't break. In fact, the palm tree can bend all the way over to where the top is almost touching the ground and still not break. During a hurricane, it may be that way for 4 or 5 hours. Looks like it's done. Looks like it's over. I can imagine the hurricane huffing and puffing and thinking, I may not be able to uproot you, but at least I will keep you from ever standing up again. That hurricane keeps blowing. He thinks he's winning the battle, but when the hurricane runs out of steam, when the winds die down, you know what happens? That palm tree comes right back up to where it was before. It's just like it stretches real good, takes a deep breath and says, oh yeah, this is where I'm supposed to be. Why is that? Because God put a bounce back in the palm tree. It may get pushed over, but it's temporary. It's only a matter of time before it rises right back up again. During the storm, the palm tree is not worried. He doesn't get depressed and think, oh no, another hurricane. This will be the one. I'm sure it's going to defeat me. No, he just stays in peace. He sees other trees left and right going down, but he knows who he is. He knows Almighty God has put a bounce back in his DNA. Studies tell us during a hurricane, when the palm tree is being stretched, when it's being bent and pushed over, its root system is actually being strengthened and given new opportunities for growth. When the storm is over, the palm tree smiles and says, I knew I was going to come back up, but what do you know? I came back up stronger than I was before. That's what God says will happen to each one of us if we just stay in faith. Psalm 92:12, the righteous will flourish like a palm tree. Isn't it interesting? God could have said we would flourish like an oak tree. That means we'd be big, sturdy, have great branches. He could have said we'd flourish like a pine tree. That means we'd be tall and impressive, be able to see for miles. But the reason God said we'd flourish like a palm tree is because God knew there would be difficult times. He knew things would come against us to try to steal our joy, steal our victory. So God said, you're going to be like a palm tree because I put a bounce back in your spirit. And the storms of life will come. The winds will blow. At times it looks like we're done. Looks like it's over. We got a bad report about our health. We didn't get a promotion. Looks like one of our dreams has died. But just like that palm tree, when the storm is over, you're not going to stay down. You're going to come right back up again. No weapon formed against you will ever prosper. A good person may fall 7 times, yet the Lord raises him up. The winds may be blowing in your life today. Maybe business is slow. You're facing a health issue. A child won't do what's right. Your attitude should be, it's just a matter of time before this turns around. This sickness may have me down, but I'm not staying down. God is restoring health back to me. This disappointment may look like the end, but I know when one door closes, God always opens up another door. Times may be tough. The storm may be raging, but I'm not worried. I'm not upset. I know I am the righteous. I'm doing my best to please God. That means I'm like a palm tree. So when the storm's over, I'm not going to be laying down. I'm not going to be defeated and depressed. I'm going to come out stronger, healthier, increased, and promoted. Friends, you have a bounce back in your spirit. If you'll stay in agreement with God, no matter how hard the winds blow, they cannot uproot you, they cannot break you, they cannot topple you. When it's all said and done, you'll be able to say, I'm still standing. I came right back up.